Hello everybody, welcome to the Political Vigilante. My name is Graham Elwood. So we've talked about the student debt crisis before, and it is now making homeowning almost impossible for millennials. This was submitted by Lauren D'Alessandro. If you go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood, you can submit articles and support the show. It's a great way to do it. Lauren, thank you so much. Lauren has been submitting articles about this for a while. So one of the reasons I've been able to cover that is because of her. So I thank all of you who support the show in this way, because you're all my political vigilantes. I don't have a big team of people and all that stuff. So I really appreciate what you're doing. And this is something I've talked about before, but it bears repeating because another recession is coming. And what's going to happen with all this crushing student loan? I'm going to get into the numbers on this. It's pretty staggering. A new record high of $1.6 trillion in 2019 and surpassing auto loans, credit card debt, and post. So $1.6 trillion. Trump gave a $1.5 trillion tax break to his rich buddies. That could have done student debt forgiveness, but instead millionaires and billionaires got the money instead of people that went to college and are just trying to improve their lives. So that's what he did. Also, the F-35. They've spent $1.5 trillion on the F-35. This fighter jet, it's a money pit. Do we really need it? We have the best military on the face of the earth. Do we really need another fighter jet? Could have wiped out student debt. This is how bad student debt's gotten. 2004, age of the borrower, right? Under 30 is the dark blue. 30 to 39. Look at this. Look at how bad it's gotten. It's almost non-existent for people over 60 in 2004. Now people over 60 are in deep debt. Not to mention people in their 50s, people in their 40s, people in their 30s, and people in their 20s. This is where we're at. This source was from the New York Federal Reserve. This came from CNBC, not some hippie website. Right? Student debt boom. Well, somebody's profiting from this. $1.6 trillion. We could wipe this out. How are we going to pay for it? Oh, we never ask how we're going to pay for all these ridiculous wars. Much money have we spent on the global war on terror? $6-7 trillion? Now we want to go into Venezuela and Iran because they have oil they won't give us. Which how dare they put countries over our oil? That's a lot. They got a lot of nerve for doing that, by the way. They got a lot of nerve. Anybody out there living on valuable property? It's my property, and you are so incorrect for putting a home on my property. So I need the deed to your home, and if you don't give it to me, I'm going to sanction it. I'm going to make it impossible for you to go to the store, so you and your family starve to death, and then I'm going to invade you. Does that sound fair? Does that sound like truth, justice, and the American way? So we always got money for wars, but we don't have money to educate the next generation. Don't we want an educated populace? Oh, wait. If people are in debt and scared to go to college, then they're trapped in the gig economy, because we're going to get into this. Listen to these numbers. Because that's the other thing, too. A 4-year degree doesn't automatically guarantee you a good job anymore. About 44 million Americans, or 20% of adults, have insurmountable student debts. About 11% are in student debt loan fault. And by 2023, as many as 40% could be underwater. 44.7 adults. That's from half of Wisconsin all the way down. That's Louisiana. Basically, you give or take the Mississippi east. That's the number of people that are in student debt. 44 million out of 171 million adults under the age of 60 in the U.S. have student loan debt. And getting the degree now isn't as worth it as it once was. Median income for bachelor degree holders versus cost of 4-year college. The red is the cost of the 4-year college, and the blue is the median income, right, of what average jobs they get. So in 1992, you get about 50 grand. In 98, 2000, it went up to a little over 55. It's dripped back down, went under 55. Now it's kind of fallen back down to 50 grand a year. So a little bump, but it's been really, in the last 20 years or so, it's gone up and down a little bit, but it's still where it was 20 years ago. Look where we were 20 years ago. $35,000 was the average cost of a 4-year college tuition, room, and board. 35 grand. So I'm sorry, I read this wrong. $14,000. So $50K, this is what the salary is. So $14,000, this is the cost of tuition, room, and board. This is the median income, okay? Sorry if I had that wrong. So back in 1992, it was about $14,000 a year to get a 4-year degree. Now it's $24,000 a year. And this is 2017 dollars roughly. So maybe that's, but so now the cost of the degree won't even, at least 60% of millennials have no savings. Oh, it's because they spend all their money on avocado toast. No, they don't have it. I just showed you they don't have it. They have debt. They got to pay off their student loan debt or they default on the loan. So then their credit score's screwed, so then they can't get a home loan. And their poor financial health has contributed to the reason why so many young adults can't afford a down payment on their first home. Again, so it's not even paying them. So what do they have to do? They have to drive for Lyft and Uber and Grubhub and everything like that. And as I've said in my act, if you do get a decent job, it's not for the tech companies are not like, oh, I'm making 50 grand a year for this tech company that's helping fix the environment or end homelessness. No, it's some bullshit cat food delivery app, snack chat app cat, snacky cat, meow meow, cat snack, food chat, snack meow. Because the tech billionaires are shitheads. Millennials have 8% less home ownership than baby boomers and Gen Xers. I'm a Gen Xer. If the home ownership rate for millennials, I used to own a home. I used to, but George Bush, Obama, and then folks like Kamala Harris let the banks steal my home. So I don't even own a home anymore. I used to, but now I don't. If the home ownership rate for millennials had stayed the same as previous generations, the study noted, there would be about 3.4 million more homeowners today. One of the things that helped create upward mobility in America, why the American dream was so amazing, was you go to college, you get a 4-year degree. It's not that expensive. It's fairly affordable. You get a good job afterwards. You advance your way up. Even if you had a good union job, even if you didn't have a 4-year degree, you had a good union job, you got promoted, you got good salary, good benefits, you put a down payment on a home. That home appreciated in value. You sold it, got into a nicer. That was how you created wealth. That was the simplest, most effective way to amass wealth in America and what gave you upward mobility. It's why the poor and working class had a shot at getting out and getting into a nice middle class lifestyle. The middle class had a shot at getting up into a better tax bracket. I mean, like, that was the American. We don't have that now. People owning homes is better. It's better for the economy. It's better for the society. Right? Neighborhoods where everybody owns stuff, they're typically not, right? Less crime, all that stuff. Listen to the debt now. Student loan debt. The average debt load has quickly increased over time, moving from $37,000 from nearly $9,500. So you used to have about $9,500 average in student loan debt. Now you got $37,000. Today's levels are 3 times higher than 2006. And I'm sure there's people who are going to put in the comment section, Graham, I have $150,000 in student loan. I have $200,000. This is just the average. Please put your personal stories in the comment section. That helps. When people watch these videos and then they see your personal stories in the comment section, that really helps. People understand and get it. I paid out-of-state tuition from 87 to 91. It was $8,000 a year. My brother and sisters went in-state, and their tuition was like $2,000 or something like that a year. So there's a student and thanks to Lauren D'Alessandro, I've talked about this before. So there's a student debt bubble. What happens when everyone defaults on these loans? They can't afford them. What's going to happen when there's another recession lurking? Another recession lurking around the corner. Millennials could soon find themselves without a job and back in their parents' basement. That's from the article. There's a car loan bubble because the banks have been giving car loans to people that can't afford them the same way. And the mortgage, nothing got fixed. Obama didn't. He did Dodd-Frank, which is like a Band-Aid on a shotgun wound. Nobody got prosecuted because of Obama or Bush, because both parties are bought and paid for by Wall Street. So no regulation happened. There's another debt. They're doing the same thing. Toxic loans again. If you are someone that can afford to buy a home, they're giving you, that's going to collapse. We're going to have another recession. What's going to happen? We're going to have 50 million people out of work? What's that going to look like? What's that going to look like? A third of the population is just out of work? I mean, that's going to be gnarly, man. That's going to cause riots. That's going to cause food shortages. That's going to cause a drain on everything. But the Democrats, though, they'll take care of you. Here's what Joe Biden thinks.
The younger generation now tells me how tough things are. Give me a break. No. I have no empathy for it. Give me a break.
No. No, Joe Biden says. I have no empathy. Give me a break.
No. I have no empathy for it. Give me a break.
I have no empathy. Give me a break. That's what Joe Biden says. No. Elizabeth Warren, who was a Republican until she was 47, who stood and clapped earlier this year when Trump said this will never be a socialist country, it will always be a capitalist country. She stood and clapped. Liz Warren, right? Everyone thinks she's some progressive. She is not a progressive. Kamala Harris, who Steve Mnuchin from One West Bank donated to her attorney general campaign. She didn't prosecute Steve Mnuchin. She could have. She didn't. And then he donated to her senatorial campaign. That's the Democratic Party. No. I have no sympathy for you. Crushing student loan debt? Millennials, they have no sympathy for you. You won't be able to enjoy the upward mobility of generations past. They don't care. They don't care. The millennials are going to be the lost generation. Just everybody's got to drive for Grubhub and Uber and Lyft and what? Right? And when the tech companies that you are working for that pay decent money, when they go belly up because the venture capitalist money got dried up in the next recession, then what? Believe me, the 1% will be fine. The people that fund Joe Biden's campaign, Elizabeth Warren and Kamala Harris's campaign, they're going to be fine. The banks will be fine. You won't. I won't. They don't care. Thank you for supporting the show. Like, share, and subscribe, okay? Corporate media is not doing this story. Believe me, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, they're not doing this story. They don't care. Because they're paid for by the same people that pay Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, and Kamala Harris. Go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood, where Lauren D'Alessandro donates to the show. Thank you, Lauren, so much. Go to rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. It is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. All my videos are on Rockfin, ad-free. For $10 a month, you get access to everybody's premium content on the whole platform. When you endorse my videos, I get residual income. Watch the ads on YouTube all the way through. When you click skip ad, I don't get paid. Join us on the road for the Progressive Comedy Tour. Ron Placone and I, September 4th through the 8th. We're going to Omaha, Sioux Falls, Madison, Minneapolis, and Iowa City. I'm doing Moscow September 20th, St. Petersburg, Russia, September 27th. Those ticket links will be up soon. And Ron Placone and I, the ticket links for the Progressive Comedy Tour Down Under are here. November 14th, Melbourne. November 15th, Adelaide. November 17th, Sydney. November 22nd, we will be in Perth, Australia. Go to grahamelwood.com for all my tour dates. Thank you so much for watching. Boom. Shave your knuckles for justice.